Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if believing technology will save us from climate change makes us less likely to act ourselves? This new study dives deep into that very question. Imagine a scientist, highly educated, a trusted voice. When they talk about big problems like climate change, we listen. But what if their very belief in future technology makes them less likely to, say, change their own habits or join a protest? That is the intriguing puzzle this research tackles. It is called Techno-Optimism, and the paper explores if this belief, common among scientists, might actually slow down the actions needed to fight climate change. So, the big question these researchers asked was pretty straightforward. Do scientists who really believe technology will fix climate change take less action themselves, both in their personal lives and in the wider community? They gathered data from over 9,000 scientists in 115 countries. Think of it as a massive global survey of scientific minds. To figure this out, they asked scientists a straightforward question. Advances in technology will largely solve the problems caused by climate change. Scientists could then answer on a scale from strongly disagree all the way to strongly agree. Those who leaned towards agreeing were labeled techno-optimistic. They then looked at where these techno-optimistic scientists worked, what their political views were, and crucially, what kind of climate actions they said they took. What they found was pretty interesting. Techno-optimism wasn't spread equally among all scientists. It was most common in fields like applied sciences and natural sciences, which makes some sense, right? These are fields often focused on invention and building things. On the flip side, scientists in the humanities and social sciences were less likely to be techno-optimistic. Interestingly, the study also found that a scientist's research being directly related to climate change didn't really change how techno-optimistic they were. What did make a big difference, though, was political leaning. Scientists who leaned more to the right politically were significantly more likely to be techno-optimists compared to those on the left. This suggests it is not just about the science, but also about underlying worldviews. Now, for the main event, how does this techno-optimism affect climate action? The results were quite clear. Scientists who were techno-optimistic were substantially less likely to engage in civic actions. What kind of civic actions? Think signing petitions, participating in protests, or advocating for change. They were doing these things less often than their less techno-optimistic colleagues. To put it simply, if you were a techno-optimist scientist, you were about 28% less likely to be involved in civic climate action. It is a pretty significant difference. It didn't stop there. Techno-optimism also showed up in lifestyle changes. These scientists were less likely to report making high-impact changes, like reducing flying, cutting down on car use, or adopting a mostly vegetarian or vegan diet. Overall, techno-optimistic scientists were about 20% less likely to make these significant lifestyle changes. It seems that a strong belief in technological fixes can, perhaps unintentionally, lead to a reduced sense of personal urgency or responsibility for making those personal sacrifices. Interestingly, the paper noted that there wasn't much of a difference when it came to adopting technology-focused lifestyle changes like switching to electric vehicles or renewable energy at home. This could suggest that Optimists might be more inclined towards actions that involve technological solutions they can personally adopt or that align with technological progress, rather than actions focused on reduction or sufficiency. So, what is the takeaway from all this? The study suggests that when scientists who are often seen as leaders and trusted experts strongly believe that technology will solve everything, it might actually make them, and potentially those who listen to them, less inclined to take personal or collective action. It is a bit of a paradox. A belief aimed at solving a problem can inadvertently hinder the very actions needed to address it. Now, as with any study, there are some important limitations to keep in mind. The researchers used statistical methods to try and understand cause and effect, but because this was an observational study, they can't definitively say that techno-optimism causes these reduced actions. There could be other hidden factors, what they call unobserved confounding, that influence both the scientists' beliefs and their actions. They did the sensitivity analysis to see how strong these hidden factors would need to be to change their results. And it seems the effects would need to be quite substantial to completely wipe out their findings. So, while not absolute proof, the evidence points strongly in that direction. Another point is that they measured techno-optimism with just one question. While that is a good way to get a clear signal, techno-optimism is a complex idea, and a single question might not capture all its nuances. Future research could use more detailed scales to explore explore this further. The researchers also point out that it would be valuable to explore how exactly techno-optimism leads to less civic action. Is it reduced worry, a feeling that civic action is less important than technological development, or something else entirely? Understanding these pathways could help us find ways to encourage more scientists to get involved in climate action, no matter their beliefs about technology. Overall, this research highlights a really important point. Scientists themselves are not immune to psychological influences that affect behavior. Their beliefs about technology can shape their own actions. And because they are such influential figures, this could have ripple effects. It calls for greater self-awareness within the scientific community about how our own worldviews can shape our engagement with critical issues like climate change. It's a reminder that while technological innovation is vital, it is not a silver bullet, and it needs to go hand in hand with broader societal and personal transformations. What do you guys think about this? Does believing in future tech make us less likely to act today? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more insights into the fascinating world of psychology and science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.